Hello and welcome to FGC Philosophy. My name is Tavian the Philosopher Napier, and this is where we level up inside and outside the virtual arena. We do that by talking about topics that I think are important or fun to talk about. Today's topic is going to be mostly esports updates, what's going on with me as I stumble over my words. Yeah, what's going on this week, what I'm working on. There's some big things that are happening this week that I don't know if I've talked about yet. I feel like I talked about one of them, but I'll get to the other one as well. And of course, the usual stuff that I want to talk about. So before we get into the esports updates, let's talk about a couple of things that's going on just for me personally. Of course, the first thing is books. What am I listening to? Audiobooks. I love them. I'm still on the same book right now. I've been dabbling with a few other ones, like a dinosaur book for my son, like a dinosaur audiobook, but Overtaken Online is the book that I'm currently listening to. I'm on book 2. I have 4 of them total, so I'm going to listen to the whole entire thing before I move on. It was written by Ben Ormsted, and the audiobook is performed by Doug Tisdale Jr. Don't know if they're related to Ashley Tisdale. I'm kind of curious about that, but I am so mixed on this book. I think there's a lot of aspects of the book that I really, really like, but the main character sometimes can be a little insufferable, and I can't tell if it's on purpose or not. Because it feels like the book is self-aware of the main character being that way, but it's hard to tell. Sometimes the character is cool and very relatable. Sometimes the character is just really annoying. And so it's a mixed bag for me. And like I said before, it's a literary RPG, so it's almost like similar to an isekai in the sense of they're in a new world, but it's a VR game that they're in, but it's a very realistic VR world. I love that kind of stuff. I eat it up. It's just something that's very, very fascinating to me. Ready Player One is kind of on the cusp of that, but it's way less committal in terms of the interaction with the game. You can just take your goggles off and you're done with the game in Ready Player One. So it's a little bit different, but books like this, like The Land, I think it was called, like Viridian Gate Online, those books I really, really enjoy. I like them a lot. So this one, it's mid for me right now. I'm waiting to finish the whole book before I really say one way or the other, but I would recommend checking it out. If this genre of books or any other book in audio form sounds interesting to you, you can of course go to taviannapier.com, get your free month and a free book. Try it out. If you keep it, then I get a small commission, which I greatly appreciate. And if you don't, then you tried it out and you don't like the service, and that's okay. But I appreciate you trying it out. Definitely helps me out, helps me keep this podcast going, helps me feed the family a little bit. So I would greatly appreciate it, just checking it out. So that said though, the next thing is I'm trying to get back into exercise, fitness, health, meditation. I have an app that I've been using to help track my meditations. It's very, very nice, honestly. I would recommend it. I'm going to get the name for you so you can check it out for yourselves. It's pretty simple. I think it's just called Meditation. Meditation, timer, and it's meditate. It's like a little green spiral. I would really recommend this if you're getting into meditation. Now, I don't think there's any guided meditations. I actually have leaned away from guided meditations recently just because I want to use my own brain power to force myself to stay focused rather than anchoring my thoughts to what someone else is saying. So I really recommend checking this one out. I'm going to try to find the actual name for you though. Okay, so it's called Meditation Timer and Log by Studio 34. It's like a green square with a white spiral on it. It's very nice. It's very simple. You can set a timer. It has a start sound, a ending sound, and it also has kind of just ambient sounds or music that'll play in the background. And also, if you're doing a longer meditation, it'll just periodically make like a pinging noise, which if you've done meditation before, you understand the purpose of that. If you don't, it's essentially when you're meditating, your mind will wander unless you're already disciplined with meditation. And what that does is that noise will help remind you to anchor yourself back to reality, to your breathing, to your groundedness, to your body. And that it's very, very nice. So it's like I force myself to go through the process. I meditate. I count my breath for about 10 to 20 times. I let my breath go naturally again. And then I count backwards from 100. And if I finish that, on a good meditation session, if I'm doing a longer meditation, then I'll count backwards from 30 as well. And then I'll just let my mind kind of just do whatever it does after that. I've spent a long time controlling what it does. And if I lose track of my numbers of my counting, I just start over from 100 or start from 30 if I'm on that session instead. And then I'll do the same thing I just mentioned. So it's a really cool app. I really recommend it if you're trying to get into meditation, but you don't want to do guided meditations. This is my personal preference. Guided meditations are great for certain kinds of people, but I realize for me, I don't think it's as helpful as I would like it to be. It's too much of a crutch in a way. Now, let's get on to the main topic. This is going to be a little bit shorter of a show because I have a busy week this week. But the first thing coming up is the Edward Cleland event. I'm very excited and very nervous for this one. It's probably the biggest live show that I've done, like live, like non-competitive event, right? Because it's basically a live podcast in a way, and I have a guest speaker there. So I'm going to try to tap into that, my content creator, as much as possible so that I make things happen. But it's just, there's so many aspects of it that I'm in control of that it just makes me a little bit nervous because I'm the person that's creating the run sheet of the production. Like, I'm kind of the director of production. In general, I'm the director of production, but also for this event that I'm going to be hosting, I have to have other people doing what I wrote down so that it runs smoothly, because I'm going to be on stage, talking and hosting and asking questions to the guest, mediating. So I don't have the same luxury of being like, hey, do this, press this button, do that thing right there, because I'm the one on stage doing the things and talking and being the host. So it's a little bit more nerve-wracking for me to try to like get all this documentation down, make sure my guest is here on time and everything. I'm really excited, but also nervous because that is a thing. And this is a really big name in my opinion. It's probably the biggest name that I've had, at least, there's been some pros that I've talked to, and I'm not discrediting that, but this guy works in the esports industry, and it's just a bigger, broader industry that I haven't really delved too far into yet. And he's worked with some of the best players from teams like CSGO, League of Legends, Rocket League. So it's a pretty big name. A lot of people know him. So this could help my personal career move forward a lot. And definitely I'm going to try to grab some clips of that show. Either put it here or put it on YouTube and talk about that and reflect on it a little bit once it's done, probably in a couple of weeks, because immediately after that, that's going to be on a Friday. That's going to be on this Friday coming up. The Saturday after that, I have to drive to Ohio because the Rocket League team that I coached made it to playoffs, made it to semifinals. So, we're top 3. We're seeded number 3 right now. We made top 8. The top 8, to qualify for top 4 was a online qualifier, just like the rest of the games. But now that we are in top 4, we have to go to Columbus, Ohio. Now that is a cool thing. That is a great thing. But I found out like a week and a half ago. And so me and the staff are scrambling to get all the traveling expenses figured out before this happens. So it's very bittersweet. I'm glad, I'm happy for my team, but also I have a big event on that Friday, and then immediately getting up at like 6 in the morning, driving to Ohio, and then driving back all in one day. Because it was supposed to be a 2-day event, but we're not going on Friday because of what I just mentioned. So it's a busy week for me. I'm going to be planning. We got a rehearsal to do probably on Tuesday. And I am trying to maintain my sanity right now. So I am nervous. I want to do a shorter episode just because I have so much going on, but I really wanted to put something out there. I promised myself I'd be more consistent. I recorded like an hour-long episode, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I'm not going to edit this today. It's Sunday. I'm re-recording because I didn't want to just do that long episode. So I basically just talked about a lot of what I already talked about, but just in half the time. So way more efficient. Sometimes it's better just to do a reshoot, a retake, because I did not want to do a bunch of editing. I'm sorry, y'all. I love you so much, but man, an hour long, and it's Sunday, and I got home at work from like 12 last night. We did a watch party for League of Legends, which was really cool at the arena, at the esports arena on Western Campus. But I had to leave because it went to game 5. If you watch Worlds and you know what League of Legends is, and you know how long the games are, I couldn't survive. So I had one of my staff members finish up for me and lock up because I had to get up today. This is a great thing. So I sound like I'm complaining probably. Like, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm complaining. I'm just a little bit tired. I kind of woke up from a nap, a little short power nap. But me, my wife, and my son got to go to Grand Rapids today for a dinosaur exhibit. And it was really, really cool. He had a lot of fun. He did not want to leave. He got to ride some dinosaurs and stuff. There were some really cool things. And it was really fun to see that. I'm glad I got to go. I just wish I had a little bit more energy because it was so late last night. And I didn't want to wake anybody up, so I just crashed on the couch because it was so late. I didn't want to climb up the stairs and wake up my wife. My son's a light sleeper. So it was a busy week last week. Lots of going on. There's so much like scrambling in my head, like not physical scrambling, but more so just in my head. What are all the things that I need to get done? What are the priorities? What do I need to delegate? All that stuff. So it's interesting because the stress of money has slowly melted away. It's slowly going away. I haven't got my first like big paycheck, but I got a raise before getting the salary position, so that has helped financially, and I can't wait to see that first paycheck. But in that place, I get more and more focused on my work. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is to make sure that I balance my work, make sure I'm efficient with my work time, but also making sure that I'm leaving some mental space for my family. That is incredibly important for me to continue to maintain some presence for my family so that I can be there for them as well. Like I'm glad that I'm making more money. That is great. But I also want to be more present with my family, enjoy more time. And now that I have more money, I want to take more vacations and travel more, take more time off and go do things rather than stressing about where my next paycheck's going to come from. So that is what I'm doing. That is what's going on with me next week. So if I don't get an episode out, I am very sorry. I'll try to record one before I go travel, or maybe after I get back, I'll put a short one out and just kind of give you a short update as to how the Columbus event went, and also kind of just a quick recap of the Cleland event. But if I don't have an episode out, that is why, because I'm legitimately busy and have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm thankful for the opportunities. So wish me luck. If you are in the Kalamazoo area, the West Michigan area, come through to the WMU Esports Arena. It is a free event. He's going to be doing a short keynote presentation. We're going to get to have a conversation. We're going to stream it live on twitch.tv/the WMU Esports, THEWMU Esports. So check it out. Support your boy. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me some feedback on how I can do better next time, because I'm not nervous, anxious. I don't know what the right word is, because I'm not like stressed out about being in front of people, which is a great thing. I used to be very nervous of public speaking, so that's not my stress. I just want the event to be as good as it is in my head, perhaps. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll reflect on it. Maybe I'll talk about it in the future. But for now, thank you guys so much for your support. I hope to see some of you there, and I will see you all in the next one.